Right, so you can't take anything away from what Gas Cans and Oath have been doing up until this point. Now, obviously, since it is I guess a race for second, you look and see what Gas Cans are going to do to make sure that they can hold on to that second place position, or what Oath is going to do to try to reclaim that. It's only a separation of 3 points.
This is an interesting plane path because I don't know, Boro. I've been using my powers for evil, and apparently I stretched them too far in that last round, looking for evil circles. But the plane path has the potential to set up some interesting circles as we look through here. Don't be surprised if we see teams go for their normal drop spots. No surprise there. Gas Cans back down towards military base just due to pathing as it moves through. ATC now back over next to North George. Going to be a little bit more calm and calm and kind of relaxed as we move through here. But there is also kind of a lot that's going on over Rajak right now. People are probably going to stretch through. I don't think that'll be too big of a deal, but the real question comes into play is where is the circle going to go? And that's what I was kind of feeling pretty centered this time around.
Chubba runs off into the distance. Just together. Yes.
Give me exactly what I wanted to do. Gas Can's now making a look back over towards Dodge, who's holding down a nice defensive position at the time. No real third-party potentials really just due to the hillside. Maybe Oath might migrate back over towards this direction, but it's all about the aggression on how Honey Badger and the rest of the crew want to play this. Good shot's going to go ahead and connect from him. Take down Finna, and the grenade's not going to do a ton of damage. The real question comes to the fact that look at it is a full split coming out from Dodge. That means that this res is probably not going to happen. The problem comes in the fact that they have nice side angles as Adam comes up big and gets the shots back over towards Honey Badger. And you got to be very careful as he's taking a ton of damage, but it looks like Gas Cans should be able to get this res. Oh, no, they're not, actually. That is pretty big because Honey Badger does go down there. So they have to be very careful from the repositions coming up from Dodge.
Yeah, well, now Adam is taking fire from Oath, so he's going to have to make his way around. Finna will get flushed out, and that's going to do, or finished off rather, bleed out, as Gas Cans now have a spot inside Dodge's compound. Adam is in the middle of a smoke cloud all by himself, though. There's not going to be a whole lot that the squad can do to really support him for the time being. Can Soniqs get the three-peat as their victory lap here? They are going to go ahead and reposition back into Pachinko. We see Duel making their way in on this southeastern edge. Oath was very split here, trying to go after Adam, so looks like they're going to avoid it for right now. But now Voxic has been spotted out. Oldless will go down as Tactical 8 coming up over the hill. Nikos will come up and provide some support. Hopefully Voxic can hold it long enough for Nikos to get into position. And oh my God, Wheel.
What, just T8, what are you doing to everybody? They're like, okay, if we don't win, we'll just make it to where nobody else wins except for Soniqs. Inflicting casualties back over to the Gas Cans, and there you go. If you're an Oath fan, you're going to be pretty excited. Well, that's kind of the factor that we're looking at. We still have 58 alive, 15 teams. The problem is this is just slowly and steadily simmering, and it's about to boil over. There's not a lot of good options for these teams as we continue to just push back in towards Pachinko. We've got the fields surrounding Pachinko itself. The hillsides back over towards the south are good, yes. But then there's the Badlands and that road and a couple of buildings along the way towards the north. And it looks like Wooly has a goal on how he's going to come through here. Just runs right over as he comes through the Rumblers, just taking him down. Pentalil does go down inside of that exchange. But this is pretty open. Los does have himself an angle to work with, as well as Waldo back down that hillside, but it's not very clean. So with the vehicle positioning coming through there, might be able to get a little bit more space. There's also going to be a grenade toss coming out from Dodge to land right back over next to Pat Caps, as Oath do have themselves a little bit of an area to work with, but they moved directly in to get surrounded by Dodge's positioning. They could find themselves picked apart, and they have to play this very, very carefully as the circle again continues to shift back towards Pachinko.
They've already got Pat Caps down. Can't worry about getting the res right now. They got to worry more about figuring out where everybody is. Haxetti from Fabled also going to be shooting down the hill on this, as Fabled still holding their high ground. We'll see a few shots going to come out. They're going to spot out the flanker and Lampalot, but now Snakers is going to get spotted by Adam. Adam coming from the low side, taking Oath completely by surprise. And now Relo and Balefrost, the only ones up. They've got smokes. They've got a little bit of cover, but that's about it. Dodge has the clamps put on.
Oh, there's not a lot of good options trying to figure out how they want to handle all this. Adam's got himself a very sneaky little bit of an angle to play, but Reload does know where it's at. This is just all an aim battle right now as Oath knows that they're firmly surrounded. Danny G connects back over towards Balefrost, leaving just one up. Is Dodge going to commit to this? Is this how Oath is going to go down? Reload says no. He's going to try to make some type of play. He hops into a vehicle and he knows that he's going to be running into a potential bloodbath. Everybody is crashing back over towards Pachinki. He's trying to make his way up the hillside. He's going to start getting spotted out by Fable, and it's going to be Haxetti starting to take a couple of shots back down through this. He knows that maybe he can get some distance back. He crests the hill, gets a little bit of positioning away, but here's the problem. There's nowhere really too good to go. The buildings right next to him are not inside the safe zone. He continues to have to roll down through. He is going to stop, but this is not safe positioning, and Oath goes down. That means that gas cans are going to cement their positioning for second place.
What a shot by Rip. Absolutely destroyed him. I thought he was safe. He made it to the compound. He gets inside and Rip just puts him apart, and that is going to be Oath ending their campaign in third place. Wow, that was close. That was close. Gas Cans also obviously breathing a sigh of relief, but it's not over yet, guys. We've got a lot of teams trying to make it in, and look at all the action we've got on the north side here. Penta gonna finish off the show.
What the hell is happening here? Trying to reposition around.
Kills for duel already.
I don't even know. Penta does get spotted out, but that's going to be from Luke 12 off at distance. Looking back behind this, they're back over towards the southwest of this position. Now Wooly all by his lonesome. Duel's managed to pick up a couple of kills, but I think they're going to end up a little bit of shy away from trying to attack back over towards Oath's third position. Do note the fact that Zenith and Rumblers are tied for this point, so that means the fact that they could potentially crest back up and catch up to Duel's positioning. Illusion, who have just been constantly doing so much work today, Top Dog himself, as well as Woe trying to find different angles to work with. Top Dog does go down. ATC still trying to play on the other side of this. Not a lot of good angles to really for any of the defenders to work with, as ATC has the numbers advantage, but shots from range are causing a little bit of trouble, and that's going to be Veritas back over towards the southeast from this position. All the other teams are back over, and whoa, has to just barely dodge that one out. Does get taken down, does manage to dodge the vehicle, but it looks like ATC's vehicle caravan of death is going to continue. So, I mean, you can see Dodge not too comfortable in position. There's a couple of grenades being tossed back and forth. I don't think that we'll probably see One Eye get too aggressive back over here because there's just too many different firing angles to work around. I mean, you can try to continue to throw out grenades, try to get more damage off, but if you leave your building inside of Pachinki, it's its own quarantine right now. You just don't want to leave those houses because if you do, it's going to end up bad for you.
Loeb's doing a hell of a job protecting his squad from the push from One Eye. He's going to get the down on a Delta. That's going to force One Eye to pull back a little bit. Meanwhile, you can see ATC on the move. Veritas going to spot him out, but it's going to be long-range shots. ATC might be actually pulling him right into STK, and STK regrouping at the exact same time on the hill. You can see the dark green versus the light green. Michael will find a Gila, though, from range, and there's always still the factor of Wooly, who's snaking right behind there for duel.
Got to be careful. ATC's trying to reposition right up next to him. Sharp Shot's going to try to find the angle, but no! He's going to hit a quick headshot to polish that one off. Sharp Shot buys himself a little bit more space, but Veritas is harassing the side of this the whole way through. Michael is just raining in bullet upon bullet back over towards ATC, and it's been making their life miserable since they won that last fight. Why not? They're trying to encroach over there. One Eye opens, making it a little bit difficult for him. Marslick does go down as Veritas is continuing to harass off to the side of this. I mean, really, Veritas has control over the north, shuffling away ATC and shoot to kill from positions that could be aggressed upon. So if we do see this shift back over towards the north, it's going to be problematic. And there's a touch of a reposition coming through there. Veritas is still very comfortable, but guess what? If you live in South Pachinki right now, your life's about to suck.
You got to cross the street, buddy. That's going to be some tough sledding. Veritas looking pretty nice for this late game here with all that space they've got up to the north. STK going to make the push in, and Manhardy going to go down to a classic STK throwable. We've seen those in the past, haven't we?
Is it finally happening? Are we finally starting to see STK pick up a little bit of momentum, playing off the back foot? Purdy does get flushed out back behind this. Looks like we do also see Rumblers bouncing into T8. It's going to be a careful back around through this, but let's be honest, Fable's already holding down position. Comments on the other side of the road as well. Dodge also trying to find it. there's just not a lot of good options. So at this point, you can see a lot of these teams just committing to try to get kills. See if maybe they can use that to get a little bit of separation. Rumblers getting a little bit more active, running through. They know exactly where the last member of T8 is going to be at, but it's going to be Rip from Fable that's providing assistance to Zealot. Looking back through that little bit of a gap. Back behind him, he does spot out Dodge, but Zealot doesn't have a lot of options to work with. Quick spray connects and does manage to take down Dodge. Zealot's just living through the chaos that's landing around next to him, is on fire, trying to buy a little bit more space, but I think his health was high enough before that connected that he should be fine. Slowly ticking up meds off of the stims. Going to go ahead and opt into a first aid because he knows he's about to have to move. The blue wall is coming in back behind him. Waldo is committed to this. He wants to try to see if maybe he can get a little bit more distance from Zenith, who are only 1 point behind them at the time, but they are already comfortably inside the circle. Zealot, who's been on fire, quite literally trying to find an angle to work with, takes a couple more shots, has to try to reposition away from it. Rip's going to go ahead and connect back over towards Waldo, so Zealot is going to get a little bit of free liberty to work with. Civ does go down on the other side of this with Shoot to Kill, looking back over towards ATC, trying to get the res back over towards it, but has to be careful as Veritas, now contently in control of the north, separating back behind ATC and wanting to just kill them all off.
Hardships will find Luke 12. Uncivil is going to be bleeding out. He should be able to get the res here from Alo, but you can see the throwable still coming in from Hardships. ATC, meanwhile, cannot continue their push on the SDK here because Veritas is pulling them from the behind. Now, Detreats has gone down. Detreats has gone down to Tig, so that's going to halt Veritas's push. Everybody fighting all over the place right now as Fabled is also getting aggressed on by Comet. Zealot's still alive. Veritas going to get the res onto Detreats here. ATC, meanwhile, they're going to lose one. Marcelic will bleed out. Sharpshot still down. Norcus, the only one up here, and he wants to see if he can get something off of his STK, but they managed to get all 3 reses back up Matrim.
Nerves of steel coming up from Norcus. That grenade probably landed right in front of his face, but he stayed committed towards it. The fight going on over towards the north and the west are really establishing about half the control over this circle. New circle pops, and it stays down close to Pachinki. Shoot to Kill, Hard Shifts, ATC, all going to have to move just a little bit further. Luke 12 looking back up over towards the church, knows the fact that high ground advantage is going to be a problem for them and how they're going to play this one out. They have to be extremely careful. Soniqs still in a firm 2-2 split control position as J-Sank trying to find the angle to play with. He wants to come up and finish off Shoot to Kill, but Luke 12 has another thing to say, takes a ton of damage, but does manage to drop down J-Sank. Now just contending back over behind this Chubba, starting to make the play for this, knows the fact that there is a damaged Luke 12 in front of him. Crest up over the top of the hill, but it's going to be Civ that's raining in the damage. Does manage to take him down, but Chubba gets a little bit more work put back over towards Alo, and now there are just 2 left up for a SDK. Well, make that 1. They're going to go ahead and get taken out. Norcus does survive, ATC being the last surviving team other than Veritas. They've got goals, and they roll right by Soniqs, who were very aware of the fact that Veritas has been active out there. The problem is they're in throwable range, and this is a little bit problematic for what's going on. Getting on near on no life, 2 members already down for Veritas. They did manage to make it inside the zone, but by God, there is a ton of death and destruction coming their way. Just narrowly hiding back into the corner. Jazz is going to buy a little bit of relief for himself. Keenan down on the outside, going to go ahead and get flushed. So just 1 now remaining for Veritas based off of that positioning. Do you notice the fact that Norcus did manage to make it inside the safe zone? So now we have the 2-2 split coming up from Soniqs, as well as a 1-1 split coming up from Zenith. And well, no, I'm sorry. We have a 2-2 split coming out from Soniqs, a 1-1 split for Zenith, and we have Comets back over towards the south, who do have control, but have probably the most difficult position to play at the time, just due to how all of the fighting is breaking down.
I mean, it looks like, for the most part, Soniqs, everybody on their team has either a specific person that they know where they're at, or a specific angle that they're all looking to hold here. Is H-Win obviously holding the angle where Vegas just ran through because he got absolutely destroyed with the barrel spray. Comet's in a little bit of a trouble now, as you can see. I mean, Soniqs just has this thing completely locked down.
I love the counter throws of Molotovs into the smoke that Comets was trying to lay down. That denies any approach as they come through. Taking that tick damage as they're trying to make their approach will just absolutely wreck them. They're denying any form of approach on that angle. So one of the second strongest team that still had members up, quickly just getting demolished on multiple angles. You can see that Lada's trying to find some way to approach through, but there's just not a lot of options. Strimshy's got the angle for it and drops them down, leaving us with just 4 squads remaining in our final round. Make that 3, as Veritas has 1 member up. Zenith only has 1 member up, and I wouldn't be surprised if Poonage gets flushed out here very quickly. Throwables now coming out from the other side as Mime is going to try to contest back and deny Zenith any form of approach. Shrimsy's kind of the front man, just bouncing from wall to wall, decimating anything that approaches. And Veritas, you fought for the north. Well, guess what? Now you're going to have to fight your way out of a 1v4.
And here come a million throwables right on top of Jazza.
Oh,
He's going to see what he can try to do, but he's probably going to be deaf and blind for the next
With
5
the pistol.
years.
Give it to us, Tig.
No.
Give it to us, Tig. Give us the disrespect. I also see the pan. Do it. 9 kills. Make it 10. Go on the hunt. Give us a pan kill for the victory. Finish it off with style. They're dancing around inside the smokes. They try to spot it out. Mine does go down. Jazz is fighting unfairly with a gun right now. Tig's trying to get a little bit of the spray with the pistol, but he brings out the pan. Goes for the throw. It goes a little bit wide, but he's got goals. Goes back for it yet again, and Shrimzy manages to connect with the Uzi to finish this one off as Soniqs win yet again with a massive point lead over second place.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, no die from last shot. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud 9 and this 9 is never on